In this video, we take a look at what might be one of the greatest tools that a game master can use to make role-playing sessions even more exciting. Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming. Now anybody who has run an RPG session of any kind knows that one of the best ways to make your players more engaged and to make the session more exciting is to introduce a time pressure. One way of doing this is to use a timer such as on your phone. Start the timer and then tell your players that they have 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes to complete a task before something of dire consequence happens. And this way, they will be stressed. They don't know exactly how much time they have, but they know that the time is limited and they have to get this task done before the time runs out. A second method is to use a time glass. Now you can find these in various increments of time, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. It all depends on what you need. Now set this out in front of the players where they all can see it and tell them now that they have this much time until the sand runs out to resolve the issue that they are facing. And if they do not do it in time, there will be dire consequences. Now what is exciting about this is the players can see it as the sand is trickling down. They all have a sense that the stress is building as they try to work their way through a problem, hopefully being able to resolve it before the time runs out. I really love the time glass as a prop, but one thing that I don't like about it is that it's a little bit too predictable. You can see exactly how much time you have left, and for that reason sometimes I like to use this instead, a top. Now the cool thing with top is it has the same principle. You spin out the top, you have your players with their task, whatever it is they need to do or solve in the time limit, and when the top stops spinning, there will be dire consequences. However, the players don't know exactly how much time they have left. They can't really see it perfectly. What they can see, however, is that the top gets progressively more wobbly as the energy in the top slows down, so they know they have a certain amount of time, but they can't see exactly when, and this contributes even more stress and even more chaos to the session, which makes it even more exciting as your players are trying to solve a problem. One additional benefit of the top method that I really love is that the time duration is always variable. If you're using a time glass, it is pretty accurate to the number of minutes that the time glass allows you. So if you have a 1 minute time glass, for example, you get pretty much 1 minute. 3 minutes, you'll get 3 minutes. It is pretty consistent. What I love about the top, however, is that you never know exactly how much time you're going to get. That all depends on the spin of the game master and the way in which the top is spinning. With a good top, such as this aluminum one that you see here, I can get anywhere between 1 and 3 minutes of time duration. And what is really cool about that is that I, as a game master, don't even know how much time that the players have. They don't know. This uncertainty creates even more stress and really heightens the player experience. Well, let's go ahead and give a spin of this top and see how much time we get out of it. So that was a pretty weak spin on my part, but even then I was able to get over 1 minute of time. I, on a flat table, have gotten up to 2.5 to 3 minutes with this aluminum top. So it really varies. If you have a good flat surface and you can really give it a good spin, you can get a lot of time out of it. Imagine now just how crazy fun this could be if this were the centerpiece of your table. In the middle of all of your players, you have this top, and all of the players know exactly what the top means. Now, at every moment in the game, whether it's in combat, whether you're trying to solve problems, when the game master reaches for the top, the players know that now it is on. So imagine the fun now. You roll the top, and the players now have to start rolling their dice to find out, are they going to be able to solve this problem? Are they going to be able to figure out what they need to do in combat in time? Pressure is on, excitement is rising, gameplay is much better. Just a quick word about the top I'm using in this example. It comes from a game that I found here in Sweden called Fatalist. Now, I'm sure that there are similar games in other parts of the world where so you can find something similar or a top that is made in a similar fashion. What's cool about this is that it's not just a high-quality aluminum top that spins incredibly well, but actually on the top of it, on the face here, you see that there are different pictures and yes and no's. So essentially there are 8 sides here, and we have a total of 4 different pictures, and we have yes and no that alternates here. Now, what is super cool about this, if you find a similar kind of top, is that you can use the pictures or the yes and no words to interpret the results of what happens if your group does not resolve the issue or the challenge that they are facing in the time before the top stops spinning. What happens then? Well, depending how the top lands, you can then interpret the results for them. With respect to the 4 symbols, I've been interpreting the consequences of a failure in this fashion. The first one carries relational or social consequences. The second one carries some kind of physical consequence. The third symbol carries some kind of environmental consequence. And the last symbol, the 4th symbol, carries some kind of mental consequence. The yes and no on this top can also be incredibly fun for your role-playing sessions. Let me give you an example of this. Let's say that your group is a group of thieves and they're trying to get into a building, and there is a pesky door that is standing in their way, and they're trying to break in. Now, the police have been tipped off to this break-in, and they are on their way. So the question that I asked the group is, do the police arrive in the time frame that I give you? We roll the top off. They frantically try to open the door, and when the top lands, we look at the result. It could be no, the police have not arrived yet, and then I will pick up the top and spin it again and give them another minute or 2 minutes to try to figure this out. Or maybe the result was yes, the police have arrived, and now we have to work out the consequences of that. So what is especially cool about this is they have a limited amount of time, but even the consequences are unsure. It could be 50-50, it could go either way, so it creates even more chaos and uncertainty, which elevates and heightens the gaming experience. Well, there you have it, folks. A quick tip for how to make your role-playing sessions even more exciting by introducing time pressure using this tool of a top. If you appreciate this kind of content and want to see more of it, please do give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and I will continue to make more tips for your role-playing games. And most importantly, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming for the future of gaming.